So let's bring in Mark Lytle, co-counsel for Hunter Biden's whistleblower, Gary Shapley. Mark, great to have you back on the program. Thank you for being here. So as David reported, this is now the third time that David Weiss has come forward to basically argue against your whistleblower client's contentions. He said, I didn't ask for special counsel designation, and I was told that I could bring this case in other places like D.C. or California, which were on the docket.
Hey, first of all, Martha, thanks so much for having me here today to talk about these issues. David Weiss has been all over the map. He's now sent 3 letters to Congress, and each one of them contradicts the other ones. And it's time he comes forward and answers questions, just like the whistleblowers had to withstand questioning. I mean, Gary Shapley and the lead case agent probably sat for a combined total of 14 hours of, very detailed questioning from both Democrats and Republicans on the House Ways and Means Committee. I think it's time for David Weiss to come forward. In fact, Attorney General Garland has said he's free to come forward and answer any questions, yet it's David Weiss who says he's limited. And I think these letters show some scrutiny. If I could talk to you a little bit about the detail of these letters, they really contradict each other.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So on June 7th, David Weiss wrote to Chairman Jordan, and he said, I've been granted ultimate authority in the case, where, when, and how to charge. That was his first letter. The second letter, he wants to expand. He says, my charging authority is geographically limited to my home district. If venue lies elsewhere, it's common department practice to contact the USA attorney for the district in question. And he says, and determine if it wants to partner on the case. Right. Well, the testimony of Shapley is clear that he did go and seek the Biden appointee in the District of Columbia, the U.S. attorney there, for approval, and that was denied. Yeah. So now we're getting to a point where he's talking about going to talk to the other U.S. attorney, but he's not getting fully to the story. What really happened when he went and talked to the U.S. attorney? Yeah. And then he says, I've been assured that if necessary, after the above process, I would be granted the authority. Well, that's not the same thing as having been granted the authority, like Attorney General Garland says, or like Weiss said in his first letter.
Yeah, there's a lot of careful wording here and a lot that you can read into the way that these things are phrased. So it seems to me there's 2 opportunities for this investigation that still are out there. One is if the plea deal is rejected, that Hunter Biden is part of with these 2 charges, the gun charge and the 2 taxes charges. The other is this question of Weiss saying, well, with regard to the bribes and these recordings that we've heard about, that Weiss is now saying that's an ongoing investigation. And I think it's fair to say, because of what's in the evidence, that could potentially lead to the president. So what do you think about that?
Well, it's clear that from the testimony of Agent Shapley that this investigation was stymied all along, with every step that could have been taken towards President Biden or led to evidence towards President Biden was limited. And this is another example of it.
Okay. We will see. He says it's an ongoing investigation. Whether or not he means it is what we'll see in the coming days and weeks. But, if you're going to write several letters, you might as well, as Kevin McCarthy's requesting, just show up. Let's have a conversation to the extent that's possible in this investigation. Let's get it all out in the open. And, maybe that's a lot more effective than the letter writing. Thank you very much, Mark Lytle. We'll continue to cover this story.
Thanks for having me, Martha.
Thank you. Great to see you, sir.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.